Welcome to Try It Tuesday. This week, we're highlighting Dorothy Adkins. Born this week in 1912, Adkins was a psychologist known for her work in psychometrics, the science of psychological measurement. Psychometrics is all about how we measure things like ability, achievement, learning, stress, and performance. And that matters because the way we ask questions shapes the answers we get. If a question is vague, the answer will probably be vague too. But if a question is specific, measurable, and tied to a real behavior, we get a much clearer picture of what someone is actually experiencing. Today's Try It is about noticing the difference between a vibes question and a measurable one. Think about questions like, how stressed are you? Are you keeping up with class? How motivated are you? These questions are common, but they're also slippery. People usually answer them based on a feeling in the moment and not necessarily concrete evidence. So instead of measuring a behavior, we're often measuring an impression. That doesn't make the answer useless, but it does make it less precise. Now, let's make one of those questions more measurable. Start with a time window, like, in the last 7 days. Then ask for a count or frequency. For example, in the last 7 days, how many nights did you sleep under 6 hours? Or, in the last 7 days, how many days did you open Canvas for that class? In the last 7 days, how many times did you attend office hours or tutoring? Now the question is grounded in behavior. Instead of guessing based on a mood, you're searching memory for actual events. This usually yields more accurate information. Pick one question you hear a lot in things like surveys, advising, teaching, or everyday life. Maybe, are you keeping up? Have you been productive? Are you doing okay? Now write it using two rules. First, add a time frame. Second, ask for something observable. For example, instead of asking, are you keeping up with class? You might ask, in the last 7 days, how many times did you review your notes for the class? Or, in the last 7 days, how many assignments did you start at least one day before they were due? This version gives you something real to work with. Behavior-based questions are often easier to answer because they rely less on interpretation. They help separate what happened from how it felt, and that's a big deal in psychology. Measurement influences research. It influences advising. It influences who gets labeled successful, struggling, prepared, or at risk. In other words, measurement isn't neutral. It shapes decisions. That's one reason psychometrics matters so much. Level up. To take it one step further, add a follow-up question. What got in the way? And what would make it 10% easier next week? Now, you're not just measuring a problem, you're making space for problem solving. Dorothy Adkins' work reminds us that how we measure people matters, because once you decide what counts, we also influence what gets noticed, supported, and improved.